Hello, welcome to my channel. It is really nice out here. I mean, it's cold, it's like 11 degrees, but sunny, and I get to ride in the daytime. That is like the best part. I'm usually riding at night this time of year, and it's cool to be able to get out and ride during the day. So yeah, let's get some POV footage from my helmet of me riding. Well, here we are. It's like 10 degrees out, 11 degrees Fahrenheit. Go see how these trails are. Whew. Sweet. They're not bad. There you go, cut this way. Cool. This is actually really good. Awesome. Nicely packed. You can see that some people have snowshoed too. It really helps out for fat biking. Whew. Now, just to pedal hard enough to warm up. So if you've watched my channel before in this section of Theo Earth, this right here is like the really difficult rock garden climb. Yeah, this right here that I'm going up right now, that I just easily pedaled right up. Yeah, gets pretty easy in the wintertime. So what's kind of unique about Theo is that we don't do any machine grooming here. It is all 100% people power. If you can tell, you can see that there's a lot of snowshoe marks. So people will snowshoe the trail, and then we ride it, snowshoe, and those things combined make for just a really good trail. And it keeps it pretty single tracky, which is also kind of nice. One of the other benefits about doing this is there's no tire size regulation. So if places that groom, they want you to have a fat bike so you don't create ruts in the trail. I recommend fat bikes, but like on this trail right here, if you had like a plus bike, 2.8, 3.0 tire, and you ran like super low PSI, like 15 or so, you'd probably do okay. Whew. This is fun. What's cool is I haven't had to dab once. Usually when you're out fat biking, you gotta put a foot down here and there. Let's go over these rocks. Oh yeah, sweet. So generally there's slippery spots or washed out spots, and you end up having to kind of dab or work your way through it. So far, so good. I don't really judge the quality of a fat bike ride by speed. I judge it by how much control I have. And this trail right here gives you a lot of control. It's really nice right now. Now we got the wooden boardwalk here. You can hardly tell I'm on a wooden boardwalk. There we go. Nice. So fat biking takes more effort than biking in the summer, and that amount of effort is situational. Right now I would say I'm able to ride with a relatively low amount of effort, but if it was looser, softer, I'd drop my tire pressure more, and I would have to pedal harder, you know, put out more watts, if you understand wattage, to maintain the same speed. I think a lot of people that I ever hear getting turned off by fat biking is they think that they can get a fat bike and then just go ride wherever they want in the powder, this and that. Doesn't work like that. If I was to go off in this trail and try to ride that deeper stuff, it would be a lot of work, really challenging, chance of falling over a lot. So it's definitely more desirable to ride on a more packed or groomed trail. I'm a huge fan of honesty and letting people know what they're getting into. And whenever I read the marketing for fat bikes, fat bike companies marketing, they basically make it sound like you can get a fat bike and ride over anything, like any terrain, any kind of conditions. And it's like, yeah, do they help you ride over a lot more things than a regular mountain bike? Yes, they absolutely do. You can ride through sand. Again, if it's loose sand, you'd lower your tire pressure way down and it would be more work. If you're riding like on the more wet part of the beach, closer to the water, then you can just cruise along because that sand packs in pretty well. Snow, you know, you can definitely ride through looser snow as long as it's not super deep. And same deal, you lower your tire pressure. But like the marketing makes it sound like you could just do ride over anything and everything, and it's like, no, there are still limitations. So definitely watch some YouTube videos of people that ride fat bikes and do your research, just so you know what you're getting into. I highly recommend it. I would never dreamed that I'd be out here near the end of December, in January and February, riding my bike on the mountain bike trails 10-15 years ago. But now it's like, it's a thing and it's super awesome. So one thing I haven't talked about much lately is my new salsa mukluk. This is a 2020, but they haven't changed since then as far as like geometry and stuff goes. It's carbon. It was mukluk carbon NX of 2020, but I've upgraded a bunch of components, so it now has GX on it. And I've put different tires on it. Well, what's interesting is my last fat bike was like a 2016 Salsa Fat Boy. Specialized Fat Boy. Yeah, I made it over that. Oh, yes. Specialized Fat Boy. And I had these tires on it. Tires are a front Bud and a back Lou. Those are Surly tires. So it's a Bud and Lou. The front tire, you can see it, it kind of has treads that go straight in the direction of travel. to help with steering. I'll stop here for a second in this nice spot and we'll take a look at the loo. If you look at the loo, it's got these kind of cupped and flat treads, and this is for digging in and getting moving. And you can see the tread patterns it makes. So I love these tires because this one really helps with steering. You don't need lugs going this way to help steer in the front, but back here you definitely need them. And so it's a really good setup. So I have switched these tires over to the Salsa Mukluk and I am impressed. 26 by 4.8. So my Specialized Fat Boy was aluminum frame, and I upgraded it a bunch. Ended up with a carbon fork on it. Had to upgrade the wheels, all kinds of stuff. So that bike ended up being pretty much all updated except for the frame and the crankset, but everything else was updated. And then I converted it to 1x10 because it was 2x10. And then after that I went and put that Advent X drivetrain on it. Soon after I did that, I acquired this Mukluk. It became available, so couldn't pass it up because it's a carbon frame, carbon fork, and the geometry on this is a lot better. It falls more in line with the longer, slacker trend. I wouldn't say it's slack by any means, but I want to say it's a 68 or 69 degree head angle, but it's longer, so I can run a short stem, and it handles way better than that Mukluk as far as its geometry goes. And that to me is more important than weight. But obviously going to carbon, going to these sun rims, which are all the rage now, it takes a lot of the weight off. People probably wondering why I'm riding around talking to myself. It's fun. Woo! Oh, just because not many people have ridden that. Oh, there we go. There's my first dab. So that's what happens sometimes. I don't know. I caught like a out there on the outside. I didn't go to the left quick enough and caught my front tire. So out of this whole trail, that's the first time I've had to put my foot down after clearing the feature perfectly. So I was gonna say, what's kind of interesting is I have a lot of bikes, and a couple of years ago, has it been already, I acquired the Salsa Rustler as my full suspension bike. And well, just this last fall, early fall, I got a Salsa Fargo, and then I got this, so now I have 3 Salsas in my stable, which is kind of interesting, especially being that I've really never owned Salsas before. Surly's, which is the same company, or they're owned by Quality Bicycle Products, but not Salsa. So there we go. That is Theo's North Loop. Theodore Worth Single Track is the full official name. And right up here, it's kind of annoying because when I saw those guys up there, we usually get a nice trail packed in here for fat bikes, but they drove this machine and totally ruined it. Here comes somebody trugging along. Hello. Sweet. The more of us that ride on this, we'll get a trail back in here, but I'm worried those guys are going to come down with the machine and then just completely tear it up again. So this is a good example of kind of what happens when you don't really have snowshoers grooming up. It's the trail's much narrower and it's a bit more work. This is actually still pretty good. It's just not as wide, and so it doesn't take as much when you get off the trail to kind of spin out or have to put your foot down. So you can see here, nobody's come through with snowshoes. And there's branches, but this is still a blast. It's like a little bit more challenging, a little bit more work, but still rideable. It's fun, and I sometimes actually like this a little more. I like the challenge and the effort. This is like true fat bike single track right here. Stay on the trail. Key is to look ahead and don't look down at your front tire, and you'll have a better time staying on the trail. And in just case you're ever wondering, this is the actual paved trail. At least here in Minneapolis, they plow this stuff and people commute. So fat bike or not, sometimes it's nicer to have a skinnier tire but then get studs, and then commuting is a breeze. It's pretty cool. I see people commuting by bike all year round, and this is what makes it possible right here. These berms are fun. Yeah. Oh yeah. That time I tried to not ride the brake and lean into it. I had to put a foot down. Ooh, that's fun. Ooh, more berms. Stay on line. These are tight. Ooh, slip. Oh, that's fun. Definitely the skill increaser there. Get good at that, you'll be able to rail any berm. Well, there you have it. That was a super fun ride. The sun is starting to drop, so I gotta get back. kind of cool to see these picnic tables, because then you get an idea of how much snow we've had. Yeah, pretty cool. And it's super awesome we're able to ride bikes on these trails. I appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe. Peace.